Hey, welcome back. We're going to be super creative today with a tongue twister. Hotspot's pop up off canvas menu. So that really fast 20 times after having too much Pepsi Max and you'll kind of keel over. Now, what we're doing isn't that complicated, but it's really simple with no CSS, no plugin, no code, anything like that. It's just what you use with Elementor Pro. What we're going to do is we're going to create an off canvas menu that comes in. It's going to have menu items on there, obviously, but the menu items are going to have like pop-up tooltips or images or things that come off the screen. And I'm going to show you how to do that right now. Hey, I'm Imran Web Squad, and I hope you like, subscribe, share and follow. We love having you and sharing everything you can do with Elementor and WordPress. So we love you guys. Now, this is a fake page I've just set up with a icon I've stuck over here, and I've just got some text here just so you know what we're doing. What we're going to do is go over to our templates and create a pop-up. So we go over to our WordPress, we go down to templates. You can click save templates or you can go straight into pop-ups. I'll show you what you do if you do go into save templates. Go in and click add new. We're going to select pop-up and we're going to call this pop-up. We'll call it hot. Okay? Always remember the name of your pop-ups, otherwise it gets complicated. We're going to create a template. I'm not going to use any of the ones they pre-built into us, alright? We're going to create one completely from scratch. We're going to add into here one section. And I'm going to click onto that section and I'm going to say make it a full width. I'm going to say no gap, and in terms of height, minimum height, I'm going to go to VH and I'm going to set this to be 100. So I want it to be the full height, and eventually it's going to be the full width as well. It's going to be a full screen pop-up canvas menu, okay? That is all I really need to do there. I mean, I could go in and just 0, 0 the margins and padding, but that's all I need to do at the moment. I'm then going to go over to the settings. You click settings down there. It's over there actually, okay? The settings now is for the pop-up. I'm going to go to VW and set the VW to be 100. That is now full width, okay? If you try and stretch the pixel width, it won't go all the way. Type VW 100 and you've gone all the way. We're going to have fit to content. You could say fit to screen if you want, either way, but fit to content is fine. Horizontal, vertical, I'm not too fussed about the position because my menu will kind of sit in the middle. I won't have an overlay. And the reason I don't want an overlay is because I want it to slide in without any grey background or whatever background colour you pick coming in behind or above it. And I will have a close button. The entrance animation for this will be fading up. It's going to come in from the bottom. And when it goes out, it's going to fade out down. So it'll fade up like that when you slide, when you hit the button, whoop, comes up. And then when it comes out, it goes down like that, okay? That's pretty simple in what it's doing there. And in the advanced, the only thing I'm going to pick is avoid multiple pop-ups. I don't need to say prevent closing on overlay because you won't really see the overlay because it's going to be full screen. I might just do 0, 0 like that on the margin and padding as well. Right, now let's start adding in some content. I'm going to go back to my section and I'm going to give it a background image, and I'm now just going to make this a center. I'm going to say it's a scrolled image, there's no repeat, and I'm just going to say it's a cover image like that. It's not the clearest image, so excuse that. Yeah, it's slightly, it's not the sharpest, but I'm just adding in an image effect. And that's the other thing sometimes people forget. When you have a pop-up menu, you don't have to have a coloured screen or a gradient. You can put an image in as well. Let's now put in our menu. Now normally, you would probably go over here and you'd stick your nav menu in, and you might make it say a vertical menu. Just put this on the right front so you can see the colour there. I'm sorry, there it is, sorry. Center. So you're going to stylize it, you know, your colours, your typography, everything. You have a vertical menu, but we're not going to get a tooltip activate, which is what I really want here, something extra. So it's not a mega menu, but it's something extra that pops up. Instead of having a nav menu, we're going to add in a hotspot. I'm going to drop that in there. Now as soon as you add in a hotspot, you get this massive image. Delete the image because we don't want the image. I just want the hotspot. Now at the moment you can't really see it. Don't worry yet, okay? I'm just going to make sure it's centre aligned so we get the red dot. I'm going to go down to hotspot and I'm now going to change the label. At the moment it's black, which is why we're getting the red dot. I've typed in home and the dot has disappeared. So as soon as you've added a label, the icon is no longer needed. Right, you can add in an icon. Look, let me show you what happens if I do this. If I do an icon, you are going to get the icon next door to it, but I don't want an icon, I just want the wording. I'm then going to go down to here for the content, and this is where I could put some words like back to home, okay, like so. I could also even add in an image. So I'm going to add in an image. Let's add in a transparent one. I'm sure we've got one somewhere. There we go. We'll add this. No, we'll add this one in here. No, we'll add this one in. There we go. We added an image as well. I'm just going to put this image to be to the right-hand side of the wording. If I now just minimize that, it's the hotspot, and I go down to tooltip. Do I want it to sit to the left, above, right, or below the where the hotspot is? I'm going to have it sit to the right, and instead of having click, I'm going to have hover. So it now activates when we hover. We're not done yet, okay? And it's going to fade in and out. You can have it fading through and stuff like that, but I prefer fade in out. Now we'll go to the style. I'm going to go to the hotspot, and I'm going to make the text white. I'm now going to go to typography, and I'm going to put this to be my favourite at the moment. I just love this font, Orbitron. That's just crazy. REM will go for about 6, too big. Let's go with 4. 4, yeah, okay, we'll go with 4. And I'll leave the weight, we'll do the weights about 700. There we go, we'll go with the weight, something like that. I'm not going to mess around with anything else here at the moment. I'm now going to just do the background colour, and I'm going to make this fully transparent. We get a fully transparent background colour. In terms of the tooltip, I'm going to make the box for that also be fully transparent, and any text that pops up there, I'm going to make that be a blue colour, in fact, something like that. We'll have a blue colour. And I'm going to go for typography, and I'm just going to pick railway. You know, you pick what you want to go for. You know, don't just use what I'm saying. I'll tell you what, we'll just put it as a, we'll go for a 1.5, okay? We'll leave it as a weight 400. At the moment, you're not really seeing anything, right? And we just hit publish on that. Obviously, this is a pop-up, so we are going to activate it later, or make it activated on our icon button on our fake homepage we did. One other thing we're going to add to the hotspot is just a bit of motion effect when it first comes into view. So I'm going to go to advanced, go to motion effect, and I'm going to have this fade in from the left, so it kind of slides in like that. Let's just save that again. Just a few more things we're going to do is, at the moment the wording or the hotspot sits in the middle of the screen. I'm going to move that up to be near the top, so it's going to go to our section, and we're going to make it a top. But we are going to put in some padding, so we'll put in about, I don't know, 150 roughly. That's kind of that will do. We're just going to go to the entrance animation. I'm actually going to make it just a tad bit quicker because it is going to be a little bit slow. So I'm going to say 0. So it kind of comes up quite quickly and goes out of view as well. Okay, cool. That should be all we need to do now, just to test this out and show you how it's going to look and how it operates. Okay, right. So if we go back to our page over here, and I've got this icon. Underneath the icon, you'll see the dynamic tags on the stack. You click that, and we're going to scroll down until we find Poppot. You click the spanner or the wrench, and it's now going to say action is open Poppot, and we're going to type in here hot, and it will probably pull it up. So there we go, hot template, and that's now been selected. Let's just update that. Now we preview the page. So this is our, our home page. We've got content and whatever on. You click that. That pops up like that, okay? The menu came up and your item slid in, and look, when you now hover over it, I mean, obviously pick some better font colour, or you might have a background colour to that, whatever you want to do. Let's now do our second item. I'm going to go over here and I'm going to duplicate that. Even though it's sitting nicely underneath, don't be fooled by that, okay? You've got to go to your advanced, and you are probably going to have to add in some margin of about 50, probably, because that looks quite for some reason when you view it, it's actually closer than it is. So I say roughly about 50, 60 might work for you. Let's go into this hotspot. Okay, and we're going to change this to now be called shop, for instance. And when I scroll down to the content, I'm going to get rid of all the content we have here at the moment, and I'm going to add in a completely different image. I'll add in this t-shirt, for instance. We're now going to do a shop, like so. Okay, so that's